Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back to another Operation Meteor Report, your weekly stop for all things Gundam Card Game and assembled by Bandai. I did want to go ahead and jump right into the assembled part because my store owner had asked us for orders for the premium sets for the Barbados, Iron Bloom, and the Clan Battle sets for the Gunpla assemblies. He was trying to get as much as 1 to 2 depending on store. So I asked your store, see if they can still get those registrations in so that way you guys can go ahead and get those kits. Hopefully your store can get you the right allocation for that. I mean, we're still about 6 months out from when those are going to drop, so I'm really hoping that this won't be too much of an issue when you get those kits, and maybe we'll get some more information for that. That being said, I think Assemble's quite a bit of the ways off if we're waiting for our next set, considering that the starter decks come out in October, and then the Gun Plus sets won't come out for, 6 more months, shows us how far back behind. But it does look like that for every starter deck, we're going to be expecting something in those packs that regarding the Gunpla that goes along with it. So hopefully go ahead and get your orders in. Ask them if they're getting the GDO2 stuff set up for their stuff. I know our store owner was letting us know just to be on the lookout. There could be a registration dropping sometime at the end of the month, beginning of next month, to go ahead and sign up for those events and get those cards for those. And with that, let's go ahead and get into more Bandai announcements. Bandai Card Game Fest happened in Manila this past weekend. I was reading from a few folks that one went really well. Granted, it was not Play TCG that organized it, and it was outside the country. It sounded like that people who got on the retail line were able to get at least some stuff, including the Black Haro sleeves and the premium box blushing and the mats and stuff. So I didn't hear the outrage. It sounded like things went pretty smooth. They also were able to get the stuff going. I don't believe that they ran a offline regional there because it wasn't on the list there. So I think they just ended up running just a regular tournament just for some more participation prizes for that. So it sounded like it was a good time at that one. It sounded like we had no issues with product in regards to the issues we saw in Dallas. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that being a trend going positive in the future. With that, Bandai did put out a new announcement saying that there's an update to the multiplayer format starting on October 18th, so 11 days from this video drops. We're looking at 35-minute rounds with a 5-minute overtime. No deck colors can overlap between teammates. You get 10 shields instead of 8, and at the start of the game, the top shield is the team leader's, and each member places 5 shields. When sending a shield card to the hand of trash, the team leader will be the first to do so. Piloting a teammate's unit is allowed. So this is a bit of a change to where, people were using this. I think when we had the 2v2s over in Dallas, people were just kind of just doubling up on like blue-green or, blue-red and just kind of rushing them. So with this, it kind of forces you to go, okay, are one guy playing blockers, or are you both going to play a different variation of rush? Like, are you going to play purple-blue with green-red and try to still go that way? This does break up some of the monotony and just make it to where you're just not both trying to finish to the races. Adding more still to make the game go a little bit longer kind of helps out with those. And the fact that your teammates can pilot your mobile suits is a kind of interesting concept. I mean, I know people are partial to having their own cards, but sometimes it's just nice knowing that you could just use their machines if it helps you with the long-term strategy. So hopefully we'll see how that works out. I know that here in a couple of months, we'll have another offline regional in Florida, and I think we have a couple more events next month as well in November. I want to say one's in Brazil. I'll have to go take a look at that. So those should be supported there as well. If you haven't seen in the news, the Gundam Base Pop Up is coming to New Jersey, American Greenway, East Rutherford, on October 4th through the 19th. If you have a friend or if you know someone that happens to live in the area, see if they can hit this up, because the thing that you get is that you do get an exclusive item at that event for any purchases. It's an EX base. We'll put one on the screen here, and then just know that you do get a free one of that just while supplies last. So could it be gone one day? I couldn't tell you. I know when we had a mobile pop-up base here in Colorado, they were gone within a few hours. You had to be earlier. We're going to get one. So and then really good news for folks is that there's going to be a third wave of the Gundam Wing Premium set. We had talked about that in the last few weeks as they kept teasing it. So we actually have a date starting on October 10th at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So what I would suggest doing is this. If you have not done so already, get to the Premium Bandai site, put in your payment information, make sure your account's ordered, and then 20 minutes before you get to that site, log out, log back in, make sure everything looks good, and then about 2 minutes before the timer starts, refresh your page every 30 seconds. If you have access to what they call an atomic clock, meaning that those are the most accurate clocks you can get to, put a webpage because most browsers function off an atomic clock for network time protocols. And so that will allow you to go, okay, well, if your page typically takes 2 seconds to refresh, you can start doing that like at 57 or 58. And then by the time it refreshes the page, you should be one of the first ones in. So they did say that that's not all. Even more exciting announcements are on the way. Stay tuned for further updates. So we'll keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll get some more stuff that way. This past weekend, we had another offline regional, this time in LA. This was not run by Play TCG. This was run by Core TCG, a different organization company. Eggman had streamed it. They did some live commentation over there. It was pretty cool to kind of see that we get to finally get a mix up with the purple cards coming into this one. And actually, one didn't do too bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at those results real quick and kind of get an idea. So if you go to Eggman's page and go to the live section, you can kind of see where we have the GDO1, STO5 stuff, and then they do full commentary on that. And then we'll go ahead and move over to the Eggman's website. This one has a full breakdown of the Los Angeles regionals. We're looking here at the color breakdowns, still having the green, white, blue, green, and blue, white. This doesn't seem like it's changed a whole heck of a lot since the last round. Now, what we do see as an increase is that blue purple made a huge splash at this event, and I can't say I'm too surprised. I mean, you can run a very good aggro version. In fact, we'll take a look at one of them that made the top 4. But here's what's surprising, is that we're looking at the top 32 players, right? And green-white, still one of the more dominant features of this, is still doing well. Blue-green, still a strong deck. Blue-red's kind of losing a little momentum because this deck does what it does better, and this one can always sweep it if it gets the right cards in. Blue-white Freedom Blockers is starting to lose a lot of momentum to these decks, but Tempo's coming up. Blue-purple's making a scene, and unfortunately, the old Unicorn Blockers is still, still hanging in there. But we'll take a look here. So, as we can see, our top 8 finishers is green-white, blue-green, a blue-green, blue-purple, green-white, blue-white, and Cyber New Type, Blue-Red, and Freedom Blocker. So we're still seeing typically the only ones that we're not seeing this time around is we're not seeing the White-Red Justice Blockers deck. There was some, but not too many of them, unfortunately, that did well. I mean, we're looking at 29 and not a single one made the top 32, shows that's losing a little momentum to these other decks. Now we'll take a look at the winner's deck by Ralph. He decided that he was going to go ahead and drop the Death Scythe duo combos in favor of the Kiram, Hakim, and Damian Mulafaga cards. Looks like that they went ahead and put in 2 more Freedom Gundams and put in some ramp instead, and trying to focus on trying to keep this block package to hold out long enough for that way Wing Zero can sweep up at the end. I had a couple of folks in my area playing with this deck and won a store championship and got the Soletta and the Aerial Rebuild cards because of it. So it's a pretty good deck. I like the look of it. It gives Kira and Hawk a little bit more targets on there. So, you've got good old Launcher Strike and Short Strike to help out with that. So it's pretty solid overall deck. Good job to Ralph for winning the big one with that. And then what I wanted to take a look at was this purple-blue deck. Now, this one is more of an aggro base as we're looking at, because we're seeing a large amount of drop downs of these, not only the gems, but the Grace customs, but we're seeing the Hyakurin making a scene, and then our Barbados package, but we're not playing with Blood and Iron, or we're not doing that. We're also trying to tap down as many cards as they have. And then we did see the Fatal Strike to help tear down your opponent's blockers, or getting rid of a threat on board. So the Corsica base, of course, adds us the Tall Geese, and if not, we're doubling down on the Leos just to keep the added pressure on this deck. So this is Scott Forth, so I'm assuming we'll probably be seeing more, if not your local store here, when we get ready to get further in. I mean, we only have about 3 more weeks before the next set goes, so I would assume this deck will probably go through a couple more variations as we see more Barbadoses and other cards coming into the meta. So with that, we'll go ahead and get into our card reveals. So guys, Gelgoog, G-Quux, green, level 3, cost 2, clan trait, linked with clan trait, 3 AP, 3 health. Fierce Unity, Pilot Ortega, G-Quux, green, level 3, action, choose 1 to 2 friendly clown units, They cannot receive battle damage from enemy units that are level 2 or lower during this turn. Pilot stats are +1 AP. G-Quux, Omega Psychomu. Red, level 7, cost 5. Clan trait. Link paired with Amate Yuzuharu Machu. 5 AP, 4 health. Deploy. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may deploy 1 clan card level 4 or lower among them and return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of your deck. Gundam Kamaris. White, level 5, cost 4. Gallahorn and Gundam frame traits. Link pair with Galio Bodwin. 4 AP, 4 health. Deploy. If there are 4 or more Gallahorn cards in your trash, draw 2. If you do, discard 2. Galio Bodwin. White, level 3, cost 1. Gallahorn trait. First, add this card to your hand. +1 AP, +1 health. When paired, if there are 4 or more Gallahorn cards in your trash, choose 1, use it. It gets AP -2 during this turn. The Alexandria. Blue, level 3, cost 2. 0 AP, 5 health. First, deploy this card. Deploy, add 1 shield to your hand. Then choose 1 rested enemy unit that's level 4 or lower and deal 1 damage to it. Dramatic Turnabout. Blue, level 5, cost 2. Burst, draw 1. Main, choose 1 friendly damaged unit. It recovers 2 HP, then draw 1. Haman Cards, Gaza Sea. Red, level 3, cost 2. Neon Zero trait. Link pair with Haman Khan. 2 AP, 3 health. When paired, choose 1 enemy unit that's level 3 or lower and deal 1 damage to it. Age Device. Green, level 4, cost 2. Burst, choose 1 Asano family pilot card from your trash. Add it to your hand. If you have, if you have an age system in place, place 1 GX resource. Clan Battle. Red, level 3, cost 1. Clan trait. 0 AP, 5 health. Burst, deploy this card. Deploy, add 1 shield to your hand. Activate, main, rest this space. If a friendly clan link unit is in play, choose one friendly unit. It gains AP +2 during this turn. Kanban. Green, level 4, cost 2. Burst, add this card to your hand. Add 1 of your shield to your hand. Once per turn, when a friendly clan unit links, it gains Breach 3 during this turn. Okay, so as me and the guys were talking at the shop, we're starting to see probably our first trait cards, or what some people call tribes in other games, like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Have quote-unquote tribes, meaning cards that all synergize based off a trait. We're seeing that more with the clan stuff. The cards may be a little bit underpowered, so that's why you're starting to see some of these bases kind of, and not only the bases, but some of these unit cards kind of triggering off themselves, like the Ortega and stuff like that. The whole point of it is that you're going to be focusing your deck building around that trait to try to give you the best options to trigger, like, Machu's abilities or the ones off the G-Quux and stuff like that. So we still have some cards left to reveal over the next few weeks. I would assume that I think someone had said we're about halfway done with GDO2. After this week, we're probably about 30% of the cards are left in that pool, and probably what's left of the clan battle. So I would expect to see a little bit more synergy with stuff. I don't know how much more we're going to see at Age. So it looks like right now we're only seeing Flint with the Age device. That's going to be on there, but it does give us the ability to play an EX resource, which can trigger some of the effects, especially that Breach one. So you don't actually have to go outside of that if you don't need to, which helps out with Flint's ability. So there's going to be some interchangeability there. The G-Quux is looking a little bit more fierce. Now we're seeing 3 different G-Quuxes with pairs for Machu. So that card is going to have a lot of linked pairs to go off on the bat too. So it won't be too difficult to, proc the base with some of those cards. With that, we get some vanilla G-Quux cards along with the Galgoog. And then with that, we got the reveal that Haman Parn will be in the game at some point. I don't know if we'll see her trademark unit in this set or not. It's likely that we'll see her Cubile, but we'll see. The fact that she's still not revealed as a pilot, but as a link, will be interesting to see when her card finally pops up. So we'll see what else we've got about there. We got some more heals with the Dramatic Turnabout and the Alexandria doing some ping damage, which will help out the blue-red ping decks a little bit and give them some more stopping power with that. Gallahorn makes more of an appearance with the Kamaris and Galileo, so with cards in your trash being like your Grazes and your Schwabler Grays and the pilots. I don't know how feasible it's going to be to play that trait yet. We might need some better cards out there for it, but we'll see. I mean, the effects aren't too bad because they're cards that rely on trash, but you probably don't be wanting to play those along with the cards that pull cards out of your trash that we see in purple typically. With that, the only thing I wanted to do is let you guys know that the Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans just turned 10 this past weekend. So if you've not seen that series, it's on various streaming services here in the States. It's on Hulu right now. I would definitely take a look at it. It's one of the more interesting Gundams where, you know, it's a little bit more down to earth and more beat heavy. I've done a couple of videos on two of the mobile suits and one of the pilots. I'll get the Akihiro out this weekend, so in case you haven't seen it, you get a little bit more idea what those pilots are. And with that, we'll keep an eye out for any further announcements, and if anything, you guys have a good week, and as always, go forth, Gundam Team.